What's going on, guys? It is your boy Junior from PNP Customs coming back at you with another video. Today we have a 2019 Toyota Rav4. I'm very excited to film this video and I'm very excited to work on this car. Shout out to the client, man. This guy came in with great energy. You know, when you're in this department, you have those people that they just drop off the keys and just like, yo, do the job right. They're gone. They pick up the vehicle, pay, and that's it. No, this guy, he's been here like several times. He's called me several times. Great energy. He's a lot of questions, and he tells me about himself. He asks about questions about our company. He's a very talkative guy, and I like that. I like when people are asking questions, and this guy's like, I don't know, his energy was just great. I'm very excited to work on his car and do the job right, and see his face after the job is done, because I know he's excited too. He dropped it off now, and it's gonna look completely different. Mainly on the rear, when he picks it up, it's gonna look completely different. So so we're gonna be doing a job here. We're gonna be doing an exterior light mod similar to the Honda CR-V that I made. They made that exact same setup for the Toyota Rav4. You guys can see that we already did the fog lights here. I did that, I think, 2 weeks ago for him, but I didn't film the video because you guys already know I already filmed a Toyota Rav4 video. There's no reason to make a second one. It's just like a rinse and repeat, So yeah, we're gonna be installing the lights here on this Toyota Rav4. So what we're gonna go ahead do, I think I'm gonna put all the lights in the trunk and showcase them there. That way you guys can know exactly what I'm installing. But since we're in the front, what we have here is the only thing we're gonna be installing in the front here is the tri-color under the hood piece, DRL lights. So they go here and here. And I believe they do sequential lights. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, they do sequential lights. So it's gonna see how it's dark there. Now it's gonna have like that chrome look to match the headlights and the emblem. You guys will see how that looks in the end. You guys know I'll put timestamps, so you guys can go ahead and skip into the end when the job is already done. Let's see. And then in the trunk, let me go ahead and get better lighting. All right, so I went ahead and opened the door, so you'll hear cars passing by me, but this is what we have to offer on the rear. This is what I'm saying, like the rear is gonna look completely different. So right off the bat, you see we have the reflectors. These are gonna replace those two there. These are boring, they don't really do anything. The reflectors that we're installing today are gonna be doing brake, parking lights, a welcome animation, and of course signal lights. Same thing for everything else. All right, and then we have this huge back tailgate piece. That's gonna be replacing this whole piece. Let me see if I can hold it with my leg. This whole piece, see this whole piece here? It's gonna replace that, and it's gonna pretty much unite the windshield with the headlights. Because it's blacked out. I think it's gonna look sick. And then the final one would be these two. There's no name for them yet. I just call them LED visors for the windshield. I mean, no, the back window. I don't know, man. I'm just making up names now, but it's gonna replace this. So if you guys want to see that in action before I install it, this is the video. I'm gonna insert a video right now. This is the video I showed the client for those lights to see if he was interested, and at first he didn't really like the vertical window visors, the LED ones, because he was like, I think this is a bit too much, and I guess it's agreeable, it's a preference. But then he came in today, he changed his mind. He was like, you know what, just slap it all in. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. But of course you can buy them separately, or you can buy the whole bundle. It's up to you. But yeah, I'm very excited to work on this car, so I'm gonna go ahead and start disassembling everything. Not sure if I'm gonna record that yet. I might just go ahead and skip it to the end, but we'll see. All right, so for these two pieces here, I already loosened the 10 millimeters. If you pull it, you can see that there's gonna be, see that screw there, and then there's a tab. So thankfully you don't have to remove the bumper to change those two lights. Same thing on the other side, there's a tab here and a screw. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that screw up and then go ahead and remove them. Just these pieces. So you can see I thought I had to make a hole, but nope, no hole at all. There's a clip here that's not used, as you can see, because that's where the wire comes through. So you can go ahead and feed it through that hole, and then you can see where it comes out of. Show you guys. See? So now it's gonna be a tight fit, but you just push it in, clip it in, and then screw it in. Quick tip to hide the wiring: what you can do is you can remove the clips that hold this, and then you can run the wiring through as I did. See? That way you don't see much of it. And then obviously each corresponding side is going to run to its headlight. Alright, so they are currently working on a car in the showcase floor, so they had to push me all the way over here, which is totally fine. So I just finished up wiring these lights here. So usually you guys know I showcase the wiring job for the headlights because that's where they're usually supposed to be connected. But unfortunately I wasn't able to do that on this vehicle because like I said, we already did the fog light illumination with the fog light projection on this car like 2 weeks ago. So the wiring is already done. All I had to do was just jump the wiring from there to there. I didn't even have to touch the headlights. So unfortunately I wasn't able to show you guys how to connect them on the headlights. So for now I'm just going to show you guys how to just mount them, which is I already did. But here I'm all done. This is what they look like. And obviously I'll peel the protective lining after we're all done. But in terms of the front end, we're all done. Let's go to the back. Alright, so I obviously mentioned that we're going to be installing some LED reflectors, the rear ones for the client, which would be these two. So unfortunately, it's not like the CRV. You guys see in the CRV that I literally just stick my hand up and unclip them, push them out, and all set, put the new ones in, run the wiring up. It's not going to be this easy here. Unfortunately, I do have to remove the bumper because it does have a screw. I got down on the ground to scope it out, and it does have a screw here. And I had like a mini screwdriver, but not even that is able because there's a chassis that pretty much follows the rear bumper, so there's no choice. I mean, I always like to find like little places like it's like a shortcut, but in this, I mean, there might be like a YouTube video where he like pulls something and it's easy, but in this vehicle I unfortunately have to remove the bumper. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. Just in case you guys are struggling on how to remove the bumper off a Toyota Rav4 2019 to 2024. So, quick rundown is there are these push pin clips that are holding onto the bumper. So what you do is, I see a lot of people in video, they're removing this piece, but this is because they want to be able to see the clip. I don't really have to be able to see it. If it makes it easier for you, then sure. But what I do is I stick my finger in between the panel like this. Let's show an explanation. So I stick my finger in between, and then I push the pin inwards like this. In, see how I'm pushing? And it releases it. Because all you really need is access to this clip right here. And of course this can't be latched onto the bumper, and then it comes off. I don't think I'm gonna remove the bumper fully. I think I'm just gonna have it loose and have it lean down a bit. That way I can reach my hand in, get access to the screw that's removed, that's holding on to the reflector, remove it, and then install a new one. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna remove the whole bumper. So this is the setup. Have my seat right here. So the reflector's right here, and then I can pull this and have enough leeway. You can't really see the reflector. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's because this panel here is covering it. But I can stick my hand in now. Unscrew. I think it's here. Unscrew this screw right here. Thankfully, I have a mini screwdriver. If you don't have one of these, then I think you do have to remove the bumper. But like I said, if I don't have to, then I'm not going to. It's unnecessary labor. So I just go ahead, stick it in, screw it out, put the new one in, screw it in, and that's it. The wiring, I just run it up to the tail lights, of course. All right, slowly but surely, my hands are all dirty and marked up, but yeah, as long as you have dedication and patience, little by little you will remove the screw. So here's the screw with this screwdriver. So now that I removed the screw, all I have to do is, I think I just have to push it out. Let me see. I think that's the only thing that's holding it in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, it's loose. There you go. Ta-da! So now we're gonna go ahead and put the new one in and screw it back. I almost forgot, before you install all your merchandise, I always recommend to use electrical tape. So see how the wiring is exposed? Go ahead and wrap all this up with electrical tape to, protect it from all the elements, heat, moisture, when it's raining, when it's muddy, dirty, and all that. That way it pretty much prolongs its life. Alright, so after you wrap your wiring with electrical tape, if you look in, you can see that there is no hole for the wiring to go through. This is because it was just a reflector. It had no lighting or wiring involved. So you will have to make a hole. I would recommend making a decent sized one, just in case if you're a little off, it still goes through. So I can see that it's kind of directly in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and measure where it's going to end up, meet the wall, and make a hole there. All right, so I already screwed it in. See, it's very firm. I did notice that this reflector does stick out a little. That's the way it's meant to look. It's not like the CRV ones that are a lot more flush. It's because if you look, the indentation itself goes in. See that? It's not like a perfect. If it continued to be flush, then the reflector would look flush. But because it goes like that, then that's what it's gonna look like. So since the bumper is half out, I went ahead and just ran my wiring. Why am I studying so much? Ran my wiring through. That way it's a lot more easier instead of waiting to put the bumper back on. And then I screwed it back in. So that's what it looks like. I'm gonna put the protective lining back on, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so in order to remove that huge tailgate piece, you do need to, there's a 10mm here, two 10mm by the camera, and then another 10mm through these holes. The hole's already made out for you. And then after you remove those, now it should come off freely with clips. And obviously, if you want to remove the tail lights, then you have 3 more here. I just removed them just in case. All right, so after you remove those 4 screws, all that's left that's holding it in is clips. So you do have to yank on it a little bit of tough, and it comes out perfectly fine. These are the clips. So let's install a new one. Alright, so here's a quick tip for you guys. So you guys see that there's this rubber grommet that's surrounding the housing of the headlights and this trim that was down here before. We learned it the hard way. With the Honda CR-V, we had to like pick it with our nails until it came out fully, and that's like very time consuming. So we found out this very cool way. It saves you a lot of time and a lot of trouble. Get yourself some tape, not the elasticy rubber tape, but factory tape. Stick it on the underside of the rubber, and then pull it upwards and stick it to the windshield. See this? And what this is gonna do is that when I install the trim, I just have to pull the tape off, and the trim just falls. I mean, the rubber just falls onto the housing, and it looks perfect, like as if nothing happened. If you don't do this, then you're gonna have a very hard time picking it off, because it's supposed to look like this on top of the actual the housings themselves, not like inside squished. So I'll show you guys how that looks after. So all I have to do is just transfer over the clips that were here to the new one, and we're all set. We can just clip it on. So I thought it was going to bring its own emblem, kind of like how the Honda CR-V rear tailgate piece is like. But it looks like the Toyota piece is different. You do have to transfer over the emblem. So as you can see in the original one, there is actually no screw. No screw at all. So I believe it's just like with like 3M tape. It's stuck on there. So heat it up a little, pry it obviously with care. That way you don't break it. And transfer it over to the new one. Apply new tape. Obviously you can't use the old one. And yeah, here's the old one. Here it is. So I need to clean up the tape off of this one. This is going to be thrown in the attic or something, but we still need this. So clean up the tape and install some new one. Alright, so don't mind the finger smudges. I will clean it after I install it, but this is what it looks like after you transfer over the emblem. I'm not gonna lie, transferring over the emblem, putting new glue on it in a way where it's not seen on the side, because you can put like thick glue, but when you press it down it's gonna come out, but you don't want to put too little where it'll fly out. So I think I put a good amount. It's not noticeable, as you can see, and that's what it looks like. So I'm ready to get it installed. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and skip into the future because unfortunately I do not have any more footage to show you guys. The reason for this is because it was getting kind of late and it's unfair for the client to stay longer just because I want to make my videos. The YouTube videos are kind of something I do for fun. It's not really my job to. My job is to install the merchandise. It's unfair for the client to stay later, and my excuse would be, but bro, I need to film my YouTube video. It's just not right. So I decided to put the camera down and actually focus on installing the merchandise. So please forgive me for not having any more footage to show you guys, but I do have footage on the final showcase. So go ahead and give me a drum roll because this job absolutely came out terrific. The client was so happy. On top of that, we added, you guys are going to see that the headlights look a little different because we added a switchback LED with a resistor. This switchback LED was replaced for the signal light bulb. What this means is that when the headlights are on, everything is white. Check out that front end. Right now the headlights are not even on. These are the parking lights, so the DRLs, you can say. So everything is white, and then we can go ahead and do the signal lights. I mentioned earlier in the video that these are sequential signal lights. It kind of looks like a bridge. I really like it. The client was in love with it as well. The switchback LEDs gave it a brand new look as well, not just the grill lights that we installed. It acts the same way on the other side, of course. You can see that the switchback LED, it's in its name. So when it's in parking light mode, it illuminates white, and then as soon as it recognizes the signal light activation, then it goes and blinks in amber. And we were showcasing it without the low beams or high beams on. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn them on. And then when everything is white, look at that front end. You'll see that driving down the highway or past your house at night, and you'll be like, damn, what kind of car is that? And I think it looks beautiful. So that's pretty much a full rundown of what the new front end looks like. Now let's go to the back. The rear gets a brand new look even when the lights are off because it kind of acts like as a chrome delete. So a lot of the chrome is gone. Most of the stuff is black, smoked out, and of course red. Now check out this cool welcome animation. Now this happens when you turn on the car or when you turn on the parking lights. Check that out, man. What a display. Now the vertical LED visors have a longer display or a longer startup animation. So when I asked them to do signal lights, they weren't done with their little animation, so it wasn't obeying. There you go. Now they come back, and then I have them do the other side, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Of course, you're supposed to let it do its little animation before you do anything. And then next would be the hazards. I mean, it looks something out of like the Tron movie. Like imagine you're driving on the highway and you see this pass by. You're not going to know what kind of car that was. And then there's the brake activation, letting people know, yo, I'm braking behind you. So it's hard to miss that bright light. I also had a funny thing. If you cover the vertical LED visors, it looks like a mini Dodge Durango. Am I wrong? Like imagine if they weren't there. That's literally a mini Dodge Durango. I told the client that if he were just to get that and he didn't get the vertical LED visors, people would think that it's a Dodge Durango. But I think it looks pretty cool. Look at that, man. I think I'm going to cover it one more time. Let's see. And then you can just imagine what that would look like. Dude, is that not a Dodge Durango? I had a lot of fun seeing this in person. Man, if you have a Toyota RAV4, definitely think about getting these light mods. Because I can tell you that they look so much more better in person. Like through the video, you can get the idea of what it's going to look like. But when you actually like see it in front of you, it looks so good. You guys know we do it best here at PNP, man.